this was supposed to come early but just didn't come. Anyways, this is the successor to the K3 Note, and they have bumped up the specs a little bit, I would say. Not in the processor, but RAM has been upgraded. Now it has 3 GB of RAM and front firing speakers, so that is interesting. And it's supposed to have Dolby Atmos. So here is the handset itself. It's again sporting that 5.5 inch screen, which is again a 1080p IPS grade screen. And if you look closely, we have that one speaker over here, one speaker over at the bottom, and we have this sort of plastic case, and this is the phone itself. We'll come back to the phone a bit later. We have a screen guard, but the glass is Gorilla Glass 3 on this one, so must be some pamphlets. I won't open that. And we have a AC adapter, and it's a 2 amp adapter, so not a fast charger, but let's see, because it has a huge battery. That's a 3300 milliamp hour battery, and this might be just the, what do you say, yeah, this is the USB cable to micro USB cable. So that's it. Let me keep these things to the side and let's look at the handset itself. So here is the handset itself, and let me just open up the back. The back can be opened. We have an indent over here, so you just pry this open, and again it's a dual SIM device. Your primary SIM will go in over here, secondary SIM over here, and you can also add a micro SD card. Lenovo claims that micro SD cards up to 128 gigs are supported. Regarding internal storage, it has 16 gigabytes. I'll talk about the specs later. Surprisingly, it says do not remove the battery, though it can be removed technically. But they are quoting it as a non-removable battery, so you have to be aware of that. And it's supposed to be a, what do you say, 3300 milliamp hour battery, so technically it should last for a long time. But one of my cousins actually purchased this K4 Note unit, and he's just been using it for past 2 days, and he says the battery life is just okay, not that great. So I will definitely test out the battery, because the battery capacity seems to be nice. And regarding the pricing, this product is sold in India via Amazon.in for 12,000 rupees. I'll have the link for Amazon.in in the show notes, so if you're buying, please use my link. It does help the channel. And again, as you can see, this is the first boot. It sports a 5.5 inch 1080p screen. We have the touch buttons at the bottom. I don't think so they are backlit, but we'll look at it. And regarding the front facing camera, we have it over here. It's a 5 megapixel shooter. By the time it boots, let me give you a configuration overview. This Lenovo K4 Note is powered by the MediaTek MT6753 chipset, and the GPU is the Mali T720 GPU. It comes with 16 gigabytes of internal storage, 3 gigabytes of RAM. It also has a micro SD card slot. Moving to the screen, it sports a 5.5 inch 1080p screen with Gorilla Glass 3 protection. It also has a front firing dual speakers, FM radio support. Moving to the camera, it has a 13 megapixel rear facing camera and a 5 megapixel front facing camera, and the battery is a 3300 milliamp hour battery. And let's just set this up, and we'll just use India English, and And regarding the Wi-Fi, the interesting thing is that it supports both the 2.4 gigahertz as well as the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. So that's nice. So let me just connect to the Wi-Fi and we'll continue. And it has booted, and it starts with this Lenovo custom UI. And it's loading it, and it's the Vibe UI. We have this black background. Let me just change that. You just hold it and hit the wallpaper, and we have a lot of themes. It says choose from the gallery. So let me choose a vibrant one. All dark themes. Let's just take this. It's a little bit colorful. And okay, apply. And we are done. That should be applied. Yes. Okay, so looks like the brightness is on auto. We can obviously remove it, and it already has a system update. So initial impressions on auto brightness, it's a little bit aggressive, I see. If you enable that, as you can see, the screen is a little bit dull. Always Lenovo phones generally have a problem with auto brightness. That's what I've noticed. But anyways, let's look at the Android version that comes out of the box, and let's just put it on auto. Yeah, and if we go to about the phone, and if you go to state this device info, as you can see, it's running on the Android version 5.1, and again it says that it has 3 gigabytes of RAM. Let's look at the storage, because it has 16 gigabytes of internal storage, and out of that we get just about 9 gigabytes of space available. So the OS does take a lot of space internally, but we can add a micro SD card, so storage should not be a issue. I'll add a SD card later on and see if some of the apps are movable. I'll quote about that in my review. And the interesting thing is that now it has a fingerprint scanner, so that's a new thing. Let's try to actually add it. It says a lock or a pin is required, so let's add a pin for now. Let's say 1 2 3 4, continue 1 2 3 4, and okay, fine. Let me add a fingerprint and let's see how much time does it take. And you have to just keep on tapping like this with your tip of your finger sideways and left, and looks like it's done. So that was quick, and it says fingerprint is activated. So let's try that. Let me just try to tap, and yeah, it unlocks. So it you just need to tap and it unlocks. So the fingerprint scanner works. And regarding so again, it's a custom UI, as you can see. So we have a lot of toggles over here. You can customize this. So again, it's a typical Lenovo vibe UI that we are getting. So a lot of options. We also have the permission control. We have the secure zone. So that is there. But again, it's a custom skin. So latest Android updates can take some time. That's general. And we don't have a app tray here. We have an app tray actually. This is the and we have a lot of bloatware. Hence that 9 gigabytes of space free. But let me see later on if we can actually uninstall some of these apps. Let's go to the app manager and see that. Let's just load that apps. Let's see if we can uninstall some of the bloatware. Let's say I don't want Facebook for some reason. Yeah, you can uninstall it. So that's nice. So technically you can just check mark. Let's say you don't want Flipkart, this games, Stro Mantra. So you can just check mark these and hit uninstall, and that way you can actually uninstall some of the bloatware. So that's a nice thing in my opinion. It's using the Mali T720 GPU. So I'm not very sure how well high-end games run on it because it is having a 1080p screen. But the screen quality, initial impressions, looks to be decent for the price. And it has that front-firing speaker with the Dolby Atmos support. So that's a nice thing. Let me actually try to invoke YouTube, and let's try to, play a video and see. Loading YouTube, and let's increase the volume. Let's just search for my own channel. That's Geeky Ranjit, and we have a bunch of videos. Let's just take this one. The best of fashion, and I have to say the speaker is loud. What's that, Max? So the speaker is definitely loud. I'll be listing the top 10 smartphones for, as you can see, even at a little bit lower volume, it is really loud. And the viewing angles are nice, as you can see. So nice for if you watch a lot of videos and stuff. And in fact, Lenovo is also selling a VR kit. If you just power on and you can enable the VR kit. I didn't get it, so you can get that virtual experience. I'm not very sure how well it works. Actually, Ash from C4E Tech did a review with that, so you can check out his channel for that one. But let's also look at the camera. It's 13 megapixel rear facing camera, and this is the basic UI that we get. And if you just hit over here, it just says panorama and FX, and this is the setting. You can change the aspect ratio, resolution. It just says maximum normal. So let's just take a picture, and the shutter speed was nice. That was okay. That did relatively fast. Again, this is in actually pretty good lighting. But as you can see, if I zoom in, I don't have that much detail. So I'm not very sure how good is the camera. Generally, Lenovo cameras are pretty average. So again, I will be testing the camera performance, and the front facing camera is actually a 5 megapixel shooter. We also have a LED notification light over here, so that's a good thing in my opinion. As you can see, it blinks, so if you get emails and stuff. So again guys, that's it for now for this unboxing of this Lenovo K4 Note. If you have any specific questions around this device, do post them in the YouTube comments and I'll try to include them in my review. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.